All right, this is an interview with Hugh Brown, and I'm going to be asking him about some of the wrestlers that we've been watching, and I'd like to ask him about what his thoughts are and his opinion of Brian Pillman. Um, what's your first impression of Brian Pillman when someone says his name?
Well, having watched the film on him that we saw not too long, the documentary, he seemed to be a very uh, energetic and very egotistical, someone who wanted to achieve in life.
Mm-hmm.
Very driven person by his desire to become a wrestler, a football player, and very intense person, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Far different from the first time I saw him. When I saw him as a wrestler, I just thought he was just kind of a fill-in. I didn't think he was that much of a wrestler. He was just someone that was making a living doing it. But when I saw his life story, it showed in detail that he had really worked hard to get where he was and had done a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And he was driven to achieving everything he did, whether football or wrestling. I thought he was very strong, very physical,
Uh-huh.
especially when he was in his prime. And he deteriorated naturally with age, and I guess the drugs or whatever he was doing. But I thought he was an excellent physical specimen in good shape and
Yeah.
very, very strong for his size. He was fast, small, but very powerful person.
Did it surprise you by his athletic background? Did you know he played football?
I never knew that until I saw the film the other night, but um, it pretty much showed his character and what he was, and he was a person who really wanted to succeed and achieve, and was determined to do it in spite of his size or any obstacle that was thrown in front of him. He really worked hard at it and went through a lot, I'm sure, to get to where he was.
Right. Not just his size he had to overcome, but he also had asthma, right?
Um, Asthma, I didn't. They didn't talk that much about it. He really didn't seem to have anything wrong with him. He was a hard worker, trained all the time, got himself in excellent condition, and was able to compete. I guess he probably would be able to compete in anything he put his mind to.
How about his performance in the wrestling ring? What do you think? How would you compare it to other guys? And
Well, when I saw the full documentary, instead I saw a few fights before, but when I saw the documentary and all, a lot of his past fights, he was really good. He was really a good wrestler and a good performer, and he was kind of like Mexican guys, how they flip in the air, and they
yeah,
call him. His name was the Flying what?
Flying Brian.
Flying Brian, or something like that.
Flying Brian. Yeah.
But he was really skilled. He was an how you say acrobatic?
Yeah.
Very acrobatic, and he could jump and flip and turn and kick, and very good with his feet.
How well do you think he matched up against guys like Lex Luger?
Well, I really don't know. I think he was a good athlete, and I think Lex Luger wasn't particularly that good. He's just kind of a big, strong guy. But I think Brian Pillman had more athletic ability,
Really?
and also he was fast and he was good with his feet.
Yeah.
Uh, it's he could very easily have defeated Lex Luger in the wrestling match. I think.
That's right. What do you think about Brian's wrestling persona, the character that he kind of developed? in the early phases of his career and in the later phases of his career?
Well, he tried to be kind of like a crazy person, like he was a little bit over the edge, and that was just the character that he tried to portray just to enhance his wrestling career. And I thought it was a little bit too much, but I guess that's what he used to stay in wrestling and advance in the position he is at.
Do you think he fit well into the group of the Four Horsemen? Or was he more of an outcast?
Well, I thought that he fit better with Brett and his brothers. I mean, they seemed to really get along. They were close friends. And that's really important in team effort to be able to get along with the people you're working with. With the Four Horsemen, I don't really remember him being that much a part of them. I remember him more with Brett and the family, the rest of the family.
How about him as a tag team partner with Steve Austin? How good was that? Did you enjoy them together?
What I saw was pretty interesting. They looked like they had a pretty good team. In fact, when they were young and strong and naturally better looking, they were very competitive, and I think they had a very good team.
What do you think was Brian's downfall, if he had any?
Well, I think probably his downfall is drugs and doing stuff that's a little bit crazy that you can get hurt. I think if you have a career like that, you should be very cautious and try to protect yourself from doing stupid things like maybe flips outside the ring and taking chances where you might injure your body, because your body, that's how you make your living. If you're hurt, but you finally got hurt, it kind of put a damper on his career. And after that, all you can do is small bits.
Yeah.
So I think a wrestler, if you are a wrestler, you should get your rest, and everything you do, you should do cautiously, and try to take care of yourself so that you can stay in the ring and make the best living you can.
Do you remember any matches in particular, any opponents of Brian's? Any interviews he did that stuck out in your mind? How about that segment on that where he pulled the gun out at his home?
That was just all show, I mean, that's kind of dumb. I think most of the people that watch something like that, they all could pretty well figure out what was going to happen. It's just to create excitement and all kind of things they do just to.
You think maybe went a little bit too far?
Yeah, I think it was kind of stupid, going out and breaking somebody's door in and beating them up, just sitting there with a broken leg, and you go in there beating on them, And I thought it was kind of stupid, but.
Would you say Brian was lucky in life or unlucky in life?
I'd say basically he was a guy that pretty much did it himself. I think he probably deserved pretty much the credit because he was such a hard worker. Everything he did to actually improve in wrestling after he left football, he got with the right people. He got with Brad and what's his brother's name? But all the brothers up in Canada, and he trained with them in their gym, and he learned how to become a good wrestler. And everything he did with intensity. He would worked very hard to get himself into shape and to learn. I think he made himself into a very good wrestler.